This is the grinding wheel from Blohm Simplex 7 grinder. It takes 12-inch wheels, and it came with several of these hubs that were they're all rusted. So I'm going to take it apart and stick it in some rust stuff and clean them up. Anyway, so this part here, center bolt, which bolts it to the hub, that comes out. Standard threads, that's a roll pin. I'll have to drive that out to pull that apart. Now the next part, that's a little tricky, is this next ring. I'm going to have to tap it with a hammer. This is a left-handed thread. Let's see if we can pop this loose. There we go. Now what's really strange about this is it's a German machine. Everything's metric except these hubs. They're all standard threads, standard dimensions. Now, the hub comes apart in two halves. Gently tap that out. It's stuck by the paper washer. So we'll get the grinding wheel out of the way. Now we have to take the weights out. Again, like I said, these are standard threads. So this is a 1/8 inch Allen. And these are standard 1/4 inch set screws. One thing you got to be aware of, see if I can get it on camera, is inside each of these balancing weights, there's a little ball bearing. You don't want to lose those. When the set screw goes down, it hits the ball bearing and spreads that out a little bit. Easiest way I've found to remove these balance weights is to put a 1/4 inch screw in there, tap it sideways. Okay, remember, don't lose the ball bearing. Okay, that's it. We have 2-part hub, the lock ring, the bolt that bolts it to the spindle, and that's it. Now we're going to take these balls out of there. Guess I should have had all my parts here earlier. They just come from the back. Drop those out. And don't lose them. Now I'm going to just spray this down with some carb cleaner, something to break up some of this oil, and then I'll stick it in the rust remover. Okay, I am holding the ball bearings on a little magnet. I'm not worried about them being magnetized. I have a demagnetizer if I need it. I just don't want them getting lost. And then this is just some light solvent like mineral spirits. I'm just going to scrub down the parts, get the grease off so that the rust remover can get in there and do its job. Okay, we'll just drop these goodies into the rust remover. This bucket is just a $5 bucket, actually $6 or so, from Home Depot. It's a plastic paint bucket. It's got a lid to it, so I can seal this up so I don't lose a lot to evaporation. I'm just trying these solvent off the parts. A lot of rusting on the inside of that one. Okay, it's the next day. Take the lid off of this, rinse these off, and then dry them. I've taken a piece of Scotch-Brite and I soak it in Bow Shield. It's a anti-corrosion preservative type stuff. And I've gone through everything and I've cleaned it up as best I could with the Scotch-Brite. Took a wire brush to the threads. So now I'm just gonna wipe it off a little bit. I don't want to wipe off all the Bow Shield. Just any loose stuff I might have kicked up during the process, wipe that off. Now, what I like to do is take these weights, stick them down in the edge, and make sure it runs around here. So there's no burrs or anything kicking up that are going to cause problems. Moves okay. What I've done too is I take this flat file and I've run it in between the slot here, clean all this up. Now we're going to take our little balls and drop them back into the weights. I've hammered the roll pin back in to the mounting bolt. So now this goes on like that, and our grinding wheel will go in between here. This is pretty rusted and stained, pitted. It was rusted, but anyway, it's not going to affect the performance of this. There's paper washers that go in there as well, so not worried about it. Now remember, left-hand thread on this one. Make sure it goes in. Got awful tight. Shouldn't get that tight yet. I got a buggered up thread somewhere in there. See one thread there that's looks like it's got some flatness to it. I'm going to go take it on the wire wheel, see if that'll clean up at all, but pretty sure that's where it's hanging up. Oops. Well, I cleaned up that thread with the wire wheel. And I took a triangular file to those threads. Yeah, that's better now. That is all cleaned up. It's coated in Bow Shield, so in storage, hopefully it won't rust. Plus, got a climate controlled shop here, so that should help once I get that part finished. Okay, and then this one goes regular. So, when mounting mandrel, hub, whatever you want to call it, all cleaned up, ready to use.